Okay, hi. Today we're going to ferment some apples. Got loads of them on the trees outside, and this year I don't want to see them go to waste. And they're organic and chemical free. I'm going to use filtered water from our own well, so this will be a fairly pure process. There'll be a natural yeast on the skins and various beneficial bacteria, so it's a good start. So let's do this. Okay, so here are the apple trees. As you can see, they're untreated. There's a few with black spots on them. We're going to try and pick the ones which don't have the black spots on them, for obvious reasons. There's quite a lot here to choose from. That's why I'm going to pick them here. I'm going to put them into this container I'm going to use. So we've got 2-gallon jars to fill. I need to fill them about 2/3 each. Okay, so I'll get picking. Okay, we've got a fairly good haul here. Should be enough. Right, leave the rest of the birds there and let's go inside. Our apples here, you don't want too much in the way of black blemishes, but you do want as much skin as possible. It is quite possible and quite often is the case that people will make apple cider vinegar just using cores and peelings. So it can be done, but we are going to do 2-tier fermentation here, so we need as much of the natural yeasts that are on the skin as possible. Okay, so just get your apples. This one's fine. This variety is very good. 2 varieties here. I'm going to take the stems off. And I don't really want there to be any insect larvae in them either. So I'll remove any of them. So you don't want to wash them because you don't want to wash that yeast off. It's only just rained, so a lot of that stuff is gone. And a lot of these apples are fine. So I'm going to keep filling these jars. I've got 2 of these gallon jars which I've steamed. I'm going to fill until they're about 2/3 full, and then I'm going to make the liquid to go with it. Okay, there we have our apples ready to go. I picked the right amount. Thanks very much to me. So to make the fermenting liquid, well, the liquid to go with it, I've filtered water here and a jug. It's about 240 grams of water to about 12 grams of sugar. So it's 1 tablespoon to 1 cup of each. So what we're going to do here, we're going to get a small jug and we're just going to try and take it up to about 500. I'm going to multiply it by 3 on this and do it 3 at a time. Okay, so that. So 240 times 3 is 820. We've got 810 here. $820 there. Now we tear that and we put in 3 times 12, so that's 36 grams of sugar. So just using normal granulated white sugar, it kind of works the best. This hyper processed or not, but there you go. We are actually processing. So there, that bag open. So I want 36 grams of sugar. $35. 36. Now, we just mix that up. And that's dissolved in there. It's very easy to dissolve with those amounts. We just rinse and repeat. Now there's the apples in the sugar and water solution. Next stage is to put in a counterweight for them to keep the apples underneath the water while the first stage of fermentation happens, to stop any mould or anything forming on the actual apples. Okay, so how do I do that? What I do here is I get a jar, or this is like a container here, there's a jar here, and put them inside and fill them up with water to weigh them down, and then just fill up the top of the jar with the water. So you've actually got all the apples submerged here all the way around. And then after that we're going to put, I've got some clean, just out of the packet, muslin cloth which I've cut. I'm going to put that over the top and seal it with a band. Okay, so that's them there. I've just put the muslin over the top of them and secured them with elastic bands. This is so it can breathe, because this is a fermentation, an alcoholic fermentation. It'll take about 2 weeks. About every 1 to 2 days I'm going to stir it, remove it and stir it, and the top is just to stop any fruit flies or anything getting in. I'm going to put this into the airing cupboard upstairs, so a dark, warm place without direct sunlight, to start the fermentation process. So that's them there in the airing cupboard. A good height because it's fairly full of water, and it means I can stir them without getting water everywhere, which my wife would kill me about. Anyway, but so that's them there. It's going to take about 2 weeks for the first fermentation, and then could be about 4 to 6 weeks, maybe 7 weeks after that for the second fermentation. So by Christmas we should have our own homemade apple cider vinegar, with luck. Thank you. I'll make a full YouTube video at the end of it anyway. Okay, returning to apple cider vinegar. This is just over 2 weeks later. Nice and cloudy. The bubbling has stopped. Remove the lid now here. Take out the weight. Very similar in taste. Beautiful. Lovely. Now the next stage is to strain this, discard the apple, just going to compost, and then clean the jars and put it back in. Okay, there we are, we're straining it through some muslin, and we're going to discard these apples and re-clean the jars. Okay, as you can see, we've sterilised one jar, we've strained them both. We've sterilised the jug as well, make sure everything's sterilised. The liquid is very cloudy. This is fine. This is exactly what we want. This could actually mean that there's suspended yeasts in it. It's a clean cloudiness. It also means that the mother may have started already, which is what we want to aim for in the second fermentation. We want to see a cloudy appearance on the surface, and we want, this is like a bacterial growth. And this is what's going to turn the alcohol into acetate to make our apple cider vinegar. So I'm just going to go on with this bit. I'll get back. Right, so there we are. We're going to recover clean muslin over both jars. And we're going to band that up again and put it upstairs and wait for that mother to form. It'll take a minimum of 4 weeks this time. It could take several months, but this is good. There's cloudiness in here. I have a good feeling that we're looking at 4 to 5 weeks. We'll get back to you on that. Here we go. There they are. Back in the cupboard. And we're going to leave them in there Okay, well, there's apple cider vinegar here. Picture from earlier on, I carried it downstairs, so kind of a bit cloudy. Carrying. That's the other one there. It's got a little bit of acidity, but I think I know a fix. Okay, so I'm going to strain this through here. Purpose being that I want to strain the apple cider vinegar to stop any more acetate production because it's really strong now. And then I want to keep some of it with the mother and introduce it to this one, and then put this back up to ferment, and that should turn this into this, should fix the problem. We'll see. Carry on straining now. Okay, so I've strained the good one now, and I did it through an organic, non-toxic paper filter. Makes sense, right? Okay. So I have that there, and I've sterilised a couple of jars, 2 jars here. Put this into that. The mother and some of this I've introduced into this one here, which, as I said, I'm going to put back upstairs, and hopefully that should fix that one. See how it goes. There we have our decanted apple cider vinegar. A bit cloudy at the moment because it's all strained and everything like that. Should settle and change in colour, and whatever was left I put back into this one here. We have it here with the taste test. Smells vinegary. Definitely vinegar. Smooth though. Not so harsh as the ones you buy in the shop. Bit of sweetness. Nice. Great focus health. That's it.